Welcome back, guys. We are just over 3 months away from the 2025 World Powerlifting Championships. So in this video, I'm going to talk to you guys about how to implement changes in order to improve your lifts and when you should look at making changes or looking at the idea of when to decide if you need to make changes to your form. So today I got some tempo squats and bench and then some accessories. So as I work out, we're going to have a little conversation, and I'm also going to talk to you about 2 changes I've recently made to both my squats and bench. So let's get after it. A recent change I made for squats wasn't actually directly related to my form, but indirectly does impact my squat form, and that actually had to do with my shoes. So I switched from these Adidas Powerlifts, which have a bit of an elevated heel, but they aren't actually, the heel actually isn't as elevated as your traditional weightlifting shoes. So I switched to more traditional weightlifting shoes with the inner strengths. These ones are actually great. They're pretty comfortable, and the toe box is comfortable for my wide feet as well, but they do have a little bit of a higher heel wedge, and I'm not someone who struggles to hit depth, but I do find that squatting, for me personally, with a higher heel wedge makes it a bit more comfortable. I'm someone who's never been able to really squat ass to grass comfortably. With these, if I wanted to, I could, so I do find squatting in these a lot more comfortable. And since I've made the switch, my squats have actually felt a lot better. So that is a switch I've been doing for the last couple of months, which I've found actually pretty beneficial. So let's talk about when should you make switches to your form, and how do you know if it's actually going to be beneficial or it's something that you should actually do. What I usually recommend to my lifters, if it's not broken, you usually don't need to fix it. So if you're making progress, you're making gains, you probably don't need to do a deep dive and try and overhaul your lifts. If you are, experiencing pain or discomfort when you're lifting, or you've been plateaued for a long time, then that might be a good time to kind of, see where you can make little tweaks or changes to your form in order to optimize or make your lifts a bit more efficient. Now, there are a couple things I do like to look for. For example, is your form consistent between reps and sets? In squats, what does your bar path look like? Do you have a straight bar path? Is it moving? So if I see stuff like that, then it might be flags to look for ways where we can make your form a bit more efficient. In terms of my squat load today, nothing crazy. We got tempo eccentrics. We got sets of 6 at 410 pounds, up 5 pounds from last Wednesday. And then in 2 days on Friday, we got the big squat. We got a single at, I think, 585 pounds this week, and then I think next week we get to hit 600, so I'm excited for next week. That'll be fun. But anyways, let's see how this moves. Although the weight isn't very heavy, man, I hate tempo eccentrics. They got me feeling like I'm running a marathon. So the goal for this set is to keep a nice controlled eccentric. We're aiming for about a 3-second eccentric, then explode out of the bottom and have a nice fast explosive concentric. So sets of 6, let me know what you think about these sets. If I kept my form consistent, if it maintained an RP6, I want to hear your thoughts in the comments. Truthfully, I've been on my game for squats. So this Friday I got a single at 585 pounds, and then the following Friday I got a single at 600 pounds. If you want to catch those lifts, make sure you follow me on Instagram at King Calf. Now that concludes squats for today. So let's get on to bench. I'm going to talk to you about 2 things that have changed in bench, which I have found have been really helping me out. One of the changes I've recently made on bench are switching from the shoes I usually squat in to flats, basically my deadlift shoes. And what I've found is I feel more grounded and I'm better able to produce leg drive. So it's a change I'm still trialing out, but for the most part, it's been feeling good. The other change I made is a simple one to my grip is when I'm setting up, I set up with the bar slightly lower in my palm, and I find it's just been feeling really good as well. So that's a very small technique change I've made, which I've been trying, which I've been liking as well. Now for today's bench, I have a 4x6 at 305 pounds. So I'm not going to show you every single warm-up set and every single set. Let's fast forward to one of my working sets and let me know how you think that moved. Well, that's all she wrote for today. I got a couple accessories, including incline chest press, seated rows, and hip thrusts. If you haven't already, be sure to make your way over to kfmerch.com. Got lots of great merch in stock, like this snazzy new crew neck, which just got released a couple weeks ago. So make your way on over to kfmerch.com. Thanks again for watching, guys. If there's any topics you want me to cover, let me know in the comments below. Train hard, train smart, it's your results, get CAFIT, and we will catch you next time.